Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I'm George. We're all George. So, happy Monday. It's Christmas week. And today I got to talk about the Bitcoin Christmas rally. Will history repeat itself, or are we going to get something different this week? Are we going to get a bag of coal, or are we going to get a bag of gains? So let's talk about what to expect this week. Are we going to get a surprise or not? All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Welcome, guys. Hopefully you guys had a good weekend. We're starting out the week with Bitcoin starting at 95.3, 95.4. And unfortunately, Bitcoin did not recover this weekend. So we're starting out a little bit lower than last week. And hopefully most of you guys did watch my Sunday walk video yesterday, where I kind of explained my thoughts and how I explained that, yeah, it seemed like last week the market sentiment changed a little bit, or at least retail sentiment changed a little bit. A lot of people turned, I wouldn't say bearish, but a lot of people turned negative, right? Despite the fact that, yeah, we basically, reset maybe a week or two. And yeah, we did go up quite a lot. We did go up to well above $100,000, and we're not right there right now. But doesn't mean that everything that we saw, all the gains that we had, disappeared. No, it doesn't mean that. But yeah, I know last week was kind of rough. We had a lot of volatility last week, but that doesn't mean that it's all lost. We still have this week, and even after this week, we still have a couple days left of December. And let's not forget that just because this month is over, this year is over, doesn't mean that it's all over. In fact, I'll show you guys something that's actually quite good. If we're, I know history doesn't repeat, but it tends to rhyme. So if we're rhyming to some of the previous cycles that we've had, then that means what we're going to experience in January is going to be pretty fantastic as well. So I'll show you guys that as well. All right, so we're starting out the day at 95.4. Overall, let's see. The broader market today is like a shortened day, I believe, or a shortened week. Not today. I think today is a regular day, but it's a shortened week. Obviously, Christmas is off, and I think tomorrow is a shortened day. But, we're starting out today kind of mixed. Look at this headline right here. Microstrategy rides red sweep to 477% gain in 2024, topping almost all U.S. stocks. It was hotter than that. It's just this last few weeks, it had volatility. I think December, but leading up to it, MicroStrategy was the hottest stock there was. Nothing was outperforming it, and that's thanks to Bitcoin, right? The Bitcoin strategy works. And there's more MicroStrategy news that I got to share. But moving forward, of course, we're waiting for the Santa rally, the Christmas rally, right? And I did share in my video yesterday, if we do mimic or rhyme the last cycle, the last halving year, 2020, man, if you go back and look at it, it's crazy. I was looking at this yesterday, guys, right before. Not to say that history will repeat, right? But I mean, just to show you guys, last time, starting from today, December 23rd, Bitcoin was at 23,000, and look at this, right? It seemed like Bitcoin wasn't going to move. Seemed like Bitcoin was stale and actually went down a little bit. But look at this. We went from 23,000, didn't move, 23,000, boom. Next day, 24,000. Okay, that was Christmas Day. Christmas Day was 24,000. Okay, so it barely moved. Look at what happened after Christmas. Boom, 26,000, 26,000. Look at this, 28th, 27,000. The 30th, 29,000, 29,000. The first, 29,000. The second, 32,000. The third, 33,000. Had a little scam wick right there, a little shakeout, right? Then the fifth, 34,000. The sixth, 37,000. The seventh, 39,000. And the eighth, we topped out at $40,000. So within a matter of 2 weeks, Bitcoin went up 75%. That was the last halving year. And most of that came after the new year, after Christmas, right? So during Christmas, the Santa rally, yes, we did go up slightly, but after the new year is when we really started going up. And then we corrected. Look at, after we went up 75%, we did correct. And then it started going down. We went back all the way down to 30,000 before, boom, we started going back up. And then we didn't really stop until we went all the way up to like $73,000, right? So, will history repeat again? Who knows? Who knows? But, just to go to show you, you just never know what may happen, right? Crazy things have happened before, and they could happen again. They could happen again. And overall, we know that 2025 is going to be fantastic, and I got a few things to share. But this morning, though, we do have some more FUD, and it relates to Mt. Gox. It seems like the Mt. Gox FUD never ends. And this could bring more volatility today and more, this morning. But Arkham did report that Mt. Gox did move another 49.3 million Bitcoin today. Don't know why they moved, but they did. Are they going to sell it? Are they going to distribute it? No one knows, right? It just seems like this Mt. Gox thing never ends. Like, we thought they were going to distribute it all, and this once and for all, this is going to be done, but it just seems like it's never done. There's always some kind of Mt. Gox FUD. Like, can't wait until one day. This has been ongoing for 10 years. 10 years since the hack, and this creditor, trying to distribute. Like, can't wait. Next year should be the final year until, it's all done, right? But yeah, this morning we got a little bit of that. But like I've said, next year we got a lot of great things. Trump made a few more appointees. Stephen Moran as the new chair counsel of economic advisor to the president for economic issue. And this guy is very pro crypto, has spoken very highly of crypto in the future, going to be working with the new CryptosRUs, David Sachs. Again, Trump said he wants to make America like the crypto capital of the world next year, right? Another reason to be very hopeful about crypto in 2025, especially if you're in the US. So again, that's why a lot of American-based crypto companies doing very well and will probably continue to do well because Trump is sticking to his word. He is appointing all these guys, and here's another one, Bo Hines, all these very crypto-friendly people to all these top positions, right? They're not necessarily crypto positions, but they're, economic, financial positions, and they're all very crypto-friendly people. They're not like the previous administrations with all these people that want nothing to do with crypto. Now, all these people are people that have spoken very highly of crypto in the past. It's not a guarantee that they're going to be all endorsing crypto in the future, but again, you put two and two together, they've all spoken highly of crypto, and they're being appointed by a president that wants to make America the crypto capital of the world. You got to figure that's kind of one of the agendas, right? So, looking pretty good. Looking pretty good for next year. And this is also looking pretty good. The Bitcoin reserve, right? It does seem like this is going to be a guaranteed thing, a really guaranteed thing. The U.S. is going to implement it. It's going to buy up to 5% of the supply, over 1 million Bitcoin over the next 5 years. 1 million Bitcoin. Okay. It is not going to be easy to buy 1 million Bitcoin because so much of it already has been bought. The ETFs now bought so much. Look at Sailor and look at all the other companies that are buying and how much the miners have now. The miners are buying like crazy. The other countries are going to start buying and putting in their reserve, right? So going forward, starting next year and the next 5 years, buying 1 million Bitcoin is not going to be an easy task, especially as Bitcoin gets more expensive. For all of us, that's a good thing. So Van Eck is doing some estimates. And look at this headline, right? By buying 1 million Bitcoin, the US as a country could cut the deficit by 36% by 2025. You would think that would be impossible because we're already at what? 35 trillion in debt. By 2050, our deficit, what's our deficit by then, right? Like, it'll be an astronomical amount. So to cut the US deficit by 36% by 2050 with 1 million Bitcoin, that will be impossible, right? Unless Bitcoin appreciates to an astronomical amount. That's exactly what they're predicting. So, according to Van Eck, a 5% annual debt growth rate of the national deficit and a 25% yearly increase in Bitcoin's value, which is actually very conservative because the annual growth rate of Bitcoin, or the annualized growth of Bitcoin, is actually 140% year over year. So they're predicting just 25%, which is very conservative, right? But if Bitcoin's value grows 25% every year for the next 26 years until 2050, that would mean Bitcoin's price would be $42 million each by 2050. Take a second to think about it. In 26 years, Van Eck is predicting that Bitcoin will be $42 million each. I will be a freaking billionaire by 2050 if that's the case. I will be a multi-billionaire by 2050 if that's the case. So think about it, right? So for people that think you can't possibly make life-changing wealth or make a lot of money from Bitcoin from here on out, well, think again. Because Bitcoin can still appreciate, can still go up by a significant amount, significant percentage, because it is scarce. There's only a certain amount. There's a set supply. And if countries are going to start FOMOing and start buying all that there is, okay, it's going to start going up rapidly because there's only so much. It's not like fiat where they can just print unlimited amount of it. And it's not like gold where they could always just start mining more or spin up more mines or dig it out of the ground, and there's always more mines and more places where they find more. There's always more headlines where they find some new mine where it increases supply by like 50% or something. There's always more gold to be found, but you can't find more Bitcoin. There's only so much. It seems laughable. I know a lot of you guys think, just a stupid headline, stupid number. It'll never get up there. We can barely hold 100,000, let alone a million. 42 million, it'll never happen, right? But people said the same thing about 100,000 10 years ago. People said the same thing about 100,000 5 years ago. Just wait another 5 years when we hit $1 million. And then we'll see. People won't be laughing then. All right. Moving forward, what else is there? Metaplanet buys 620 Bitcoin, taking advantage of the dip. That's $60 million worth of Bitcoin. A lot of people used to make fun of Metaplanet, saying that, well, they're only buying like, $2 million of Bitcoin, $5 million of Bitcoin, $10 million Bitcoin. But I said, don't make fun of them. They're doing what they can. And now their reserve is getting huge. They have over 1,700 Bitcoin, almost 1,800. And they are increasing. And they're issuing more debt. And they're buying more Bitcoin. And now they hold about $170 million of Bitcoin. After this cycle, that could be worth like $500 million. And their average price is about 75,000, which is not bad. Not bad compared to some of the others like MicroStrategy, which is now, I think they're around the same. Around the same, right? So a lot of competition now, right? A lot of competition. You got MicroStrategy, Sailor that can't control himself. He does joke that he always buys at top, and it does seem like he always buys at top. When did he buy this? He announced it today. He must have bought this last week, right before the FOMC meeting. So he bought another 5,262 Bitcoin, 561 million at 106,662. So this must have been right on Tuesday, right before the FOMC meeting, or maybe I was on Monday last week. So now he holds 444,000, and the average price is $62,257. So he's bringing that average price up tremendously. His average price before, I remember during the bear market, was around $30,000. He brought that up slightly to $35,000, but with all his recent buys at like $90,000, $100,000, he has doubled that average price. So it's at $62,000. But regardless, $62,000 per Bitcoin is still, we're at 90 something, 100,000. So he's still well in the green, right? But he does seem to always buy near the top. But it does not matter. Okay, imagine when Bitcoin does hit $42 million each. You do 42 million times 444,000. What is that? How many trillions is that? It's going to make MicroStrategy like the most valuable company on the planet by far. It's going to make him, if he's still alive, he should be. He'll probably be in his 80s or 90s like Warren Buffett. He'll be the richest man on the planet by far with all the Bitcoin that he holds. That's the end game. And then he also suggested to Bezos to buy some Bitcoin. I don't know what this thread is about, but it has something to do with $600 million. So he's suggesting to Bezos to go purchase $600 million for the Bitcoin. Bezos, no one knows what he's doing now except getting more jacked. He just gets more and more jacked every single day, hanging out with a lot of models, buying $500 million of yachts. You know, his yachts get bigger and bigger and bigger. He should be buying a lot of Bitcoin. He's no fan of Elon too. If he wants to catch up to Elon in some way, he should be buying a whole lot of Bitcoin. Or maybe he does have a lot of Bitcoin. See, that's the thing. Not everyone is so forthcoming about their Bitcoin holding. Not like Sailor, right? Sailor always just like shows off and brags about how much Bitcoin he has bought. Not everyone's like that. Maybe Bezos has billions of dollars worth of Bitcoin already. No one knows. That's the thing. No one knows. All right. Last few things I'll say. This is a very colorful chart, kind of hard to read, but I'll just summarize it for you. If you look at the top there, 2011, 12, 13, 14, all the way to 2024, right? This summarizes basically the top gainers, okay, of all the assets. And this breaks down between Bitcoin and treasuries and corporate bonds and S&P 500 and dollar and all these other things, energy. Every single year, besides crypto winter, which is 2014, 2018, 2022, okay, those are the years right after our tops. But besides those years, every single year, Bitcoin's performance is number one. Even during crypto winters, right after the bubble year, right? 2014, 2018, 2022. So you would count like 2015, 2016, and 2019, 2020, 2023, 2024, right? Even those years, recovery years, the performance is still number one. So basically, if you're looking at this, right, you wouldn't hold anything else besides Bitcoin. That's bottom line. There's nothing that outperforms Bitcoin ever. Bitcoin is the number one performing asset. So like, why would you put your money in anything else? If anything, if you wanted to time it, then you would say, okay, after 2025, which would be the top year, then you would sell it and not hold anything in 2026 if you wanted to go according to history, right? That would be the smart thing. 2026 will probably be a bad year, and then after that, 2027, 2028, 2029 will all be good years. But I don't know. We'll see. Based on everything that we're seeing right now, 2025 is going to be absolutely a fantastic year. But because of all the institutions and because of all the countries now going to make Bitcoin a strategic reserve, this might change. The crypto winter years may change forever. 2026 may not be bad going forward. I don't know. It's kind of early to tell at this point, but sometime in 2025, we'll be able to make that judgment. We'll see. We'll see. All right, last few things. I don't know. This is outside of Bitcoin, but Tether is starting to make investments. I don't know what this means. Maybe they just have too much money on their hands. Tether invests $775 million into the YouTube competitor Rumble. I don't know what that means. Rumble, recently said that they're going to buy a whole bunch of Bitcoin, put it into their balance sheet. And then all of a sudden, Tether says they're going to invest in Rumble. So does that mean Rumble is going to start getting into crypto? Are they going to start taking Tether for like tips or something else? Are they going to completely go into the crypto route? I don't know. It's kind of a weird thing all of a sudden. Maybe. And what does that mean for Tether overall, right? I mean, they're making money hand over fist. Like, they have more money than they know what to do with. So I don't know what that means, but maybe they're just diversifying, right? And they're also going into AI, which makes sense because everyone is going to AI. But what does that mean exactly? What are they going to do? Are they investing into AI projects, or are they going to come out with their own AI? But they do have to watch out because now Ripple has their own stable coin, that was a RLUSD, that may eat away at Tether's, business. So, but they're trying to expand whatever business they have right now before Ripple eats away at it, I guess, right? They just have so much money right now. They got endless money right now. So I guess they're just expanding. But this one could be interesting because I'm wondering what Rumble is going to do, if they're going to go like all out with crypto now. There's a lot of crypto people already love Rumble because they have no censorship, but Rumble is just like a horrible platform in terms of search. Their algorithm sucks and so forth. So, but maybe if they go all out with crypto, it could differentiate themselves away from YouTube in a way, right? So we'll see. All right. That's pretty much it. Nordstrom to go private. Dow is not doing well. NASDAQ is okay. Microstrategy not doing well. Minus 5%. Wall Street is not liking MicroStrategy for a month of December. Bitcoin's down to 94. Not terribly good. Not terribly bad. Not terribly good. All right, let's do some Q&A. Tiger Meg said, I expected a lot more from Santa Rally. I just showed it at the beginning of the stream. In 2020, the Santa Rally actually came in January. Actually, leading up to Christmas and after Christmas in December in 2020, the last halving year, Bitcoin actually went sideways, and most of the gains came from January 1st to January 7th. The first week of January is when Bitcoin really started going up. That was back in 2020, the last halving year. But still, Bitcoin went up 75% within a matter of 2 weeks. Doesn't mean that it's going to happen, but it did in the last halving year. Rockyman. I believe in free speech and put half of my portfolio in Rumble. Half your portfolio, you mean your stock? You bought their stock? You plan on streaming there? I did before, but not now. No. Because no one can find it anyways. Their search just sucks. Before they had it where you can multi-stream to it, or it automatically pulls from YouTube, and they removed that. I may try to figure out how to like multi-stream to it right now or in the future, but they haven't fixed their search algorithm, which quite honestly still sucks. Michael Lance, people love to buy high and sell low. People love to FOMO. That's exactly what that is. People love to FOMO and buy high when everyone else is FOMOing, but people hate to buy low. People hate to buy when others are fearful, right? That's why FOMO is a real thing. Fear of missing out. People love to FOMO when everyone else is FOMOing. So that's the whole point of last week and my Sunday walk video, and basically what I've been saying over the last few years, right? Uh, you got to go with fundamentals, especially for Bitcoin. If you love something last week, like what Sailor, I'll show you Sailor. If you love Bitcoin at 106,000, why would you not love Bitcoin more at 94,000? What changed? Bitcoin got cheaper. You should love it more. You should love it a lot more. If you have money, you should buy a lot more of it at 94,000 versus 106,000. If you're a sailor and you have more money and you dry powder, you're like, man, I got to buy more. You shouldn't be loving it more at 106,000 and saying, I should buy more at 106,000. No, you should be buying more at 94,000. Just like anything else. If you like Solana more, if you love Solana, you love XRP, you like Chainlink, you love Sui, you love whatever, at a high price, you should love it more at a lower price. You shouldn't be more fearful at a lower price. Because if you loved it at a higher price, why would you love it less, right? So that's the best way to think about it. Clifton, what do you think about Qubit, QCI, and their new tech? I have no idea who they are. And I don't know what their new tech is. Do you believe XRP could flip Solana and Ethereum? Well, first of all, it already flipped Solana. So, yes, it did flip Solana. And can it flip Ethereum? I guess at this point, you could say never. What's that phrase? Never say never, I guess. It could, but sure, it could. But does it really matter at this point? I mean, XRP doesn't really compete with Ethereum. Solana does. I think Solana will still flip Ethereum. But XRP flipping Ethereum doesn't mean a whole lot. It doesn't compete with Ethereum. Even though, I mean, some people argue it can, but it doesn't really matter. They have a crypto page now, live stream, multi-stream. Man, I was one of the first ones streaming on there. If you search, I have a page on there. There's like 30,000 followers on there. Man, I used to stream and like there was no one was watching. I may have to check it out again, but like I used to stream on there. It's like no one was like watching at all. And they weren't paying attention to crypto people. Maybe they have changed their stance now because of Tether and everything. During the Bitcoin conference, I even talked to one of their guys, one of their main like guys, and he had like no clue about Bitcoin, and he was like representing at the Bitcoin conference. He seemed like they had no interest to represent crypto people, but maybe things have changed now. Again, I'll have to check them out. Crypto moves. Unfortunately, I can't buy crypto anymore. Family needs a new SUV. No one knows cars like you. CRV or RAV4? I would definitely get a new CRV over the RAV4 because RAV4 hasn't been redesigned for a while. The new CRV is much nicer. It's bigger and more tech, and it looks better. Until the new CRV, until the new RAV4 comes out, the CRV is better at this point. It's a 30% alt dip. I told my girlfriend to shop Ross for Christmas. You know, there's nothing wrong with Ross. They have good stuff. You know, I'm not like when it comes to clothes, I'm not really picky. I mean, I have some nice clothes, right? Like if I want to splurge, I'll get some nice clothes from like, you know, designer stores. But for the most part, like normal day clothes, I just get cheap clothes. But I get some nice clothes just to like, if I have to go to like nice events or parties or whatever, I'll get some nice clothes. But otherwise, I'm just wearing cheap clothes all the time. You look like a model in my last thumbnail. Well, thank you. You mean my Sunday walk video? Am I buying a dip? I am. I am. What is the Tether FUD? Well, Tether FUD's been around for a while. I don't know if that's what you mean, or new FUD. I don't know if there's new Tether FUD, but the old Tether FUD has been around for a long time. Long, long time. Tether being delisted. I guess that's the new Tether FUD. Yeah, I actually don't know what that's about. What is this? What is this? Oh, you guys can't see, but on the bottom of the CMC, you see that polka dot looking thing? What is this? Man, Polkadot loves to pay CMC for these kind of advertisements. Polkadot has this spinning thing before. You see that fire thing for Polkadot? The animation. They paid CMC $50,000 to have that fire logo. And now they probably paid them like another $50,000 for this pop-up thing. And it does absolutely nothing for them. %30 dips in bull markets is normal. Yes, but we haven't seen a 30% dip in this bull market. That's for sure. 30% dips in previous markets were absolutely normal, but not this one. This has been the tamest so far. I think the biggest one we have seen is 15%. Fat Colonel, any idea how Sailor stores Bitcoin? He has Coinbase. He uses Coinbase as a custodian. He does not. Him personally, he has his own personal stash. I don't know if he safeguards that. I doubt it. He personally holds like 20,000 plus Bitcoin. So I'm pretty sure Coinbase holds everything he has. But Microstrategies is held by Coinbase. Elon, what is your opinion on Polygon? I feel like they're not making moves. Should I convert it to Cardano? I don't know about that second part, but yeah, Polygon is not making moves. They got really screwed by the other L2s, and internally, they've been telling people, game makers, to go to immutable, and I've been hearing they can't really scale on that Polygon, their poll chain. So they're not doing as well as they should. So yeah, that's why they're not doing all that well. It doesn't mean that they can't come back. In a bull market, a lot of chains, a lot of projects come back out of nowhere. So they could still like just come back to their previous high in this bull market. But they could be lagging versus their peers for a while. K1870, first of all, don't at me, but I will answer your question, but don't at me in the future. How is it, despite all these Bitcoin buys, MicroStrategy and BlackRock, the price seems to be stuck in 89K? Because they always buy OTC. They don't buy on spot market. They don't go to Coinbase and purchase 100 million on the spot market. They go behind the scenes. They tell Coinbase, hey, we need to buy like 100 million. Coinbase is like, okay, I'll sell you 100 million at this price. So when they buy, it does not disrupt the price at all. That's the reason why. And they don't want to disrupt it. If they buy 100 million, 500 million, they don't want to be buying it and then having the price go up, because then they end up buying less or they're paying more for it, right? So that's the reason why. A lot of people always wonder, because there are times where the ETF inflows is positive, but Bitcoin's price goes down. And people always ask me, well, how is it possible that they're buying so much and price goes down? Because they buy OTC. They're doing it on purpose so they don't disrupt the price. But long term, obviously, the more they buy, the less supply there is, and it's contributing to the supply shock, right? If there was no supply shock and there was no scarcity factor, we wouldn't be at 90,000 plus Bitcoin, okay? We would still be stuck at 1,000 Bitcoin or 10,000 Bitcoin or 20,000 Bitcoin, right? It still takes time for the supply shock factor to build. So the very notion that, yeah, we're in 90,000 or 100,000 Bitcoin, yes, it's having an effect, but day to day, right, there's still going to be a lot of buying and selling on the open market. There's a lot of exchanges, a lot of things going on. So the price gets moved up and down. But all these big boys like Michael Saylor, when he does this kind of buy, where is it? He's not placing a $561 million buy on Coinbase. He's not logging in on Coinbase and saying, okay, let's buy 5,262 Bitcoin right now on Coinbase. If he did that, Bitcoin's price would literally shoot up to like $200,000 on Coinbase if he tried to do that. And he would end up not buying 5,262. He would end up probably only buying like 2,000 Bitcoin. So that's the reason why he can't do that. Eddie, I'm interested in knowing what you think about Raoul Paul's Banana Zone, and if you think we'll have one this cycle. Yeah, we will in 2025. That's the last year of the cycle. That's the parabolic zone. He just renamed it as the banana zone, which, you know, it's a funny thing. No one ever says banana zone, but that's a parabolic zone. And that usually happens last year of the 4-year cycle. It always does. It always happens. And it's probably going to be even more apparent this cycle than previous cycles, because of now the country, the U.S., is going to have a strategic reserve of Bitcoin, and the ETFs, which we never had before. I mean, these things will add up really quick. First character, one character. I like how you made a super chat $21 instead of 20. Only OGs will recognize that. Thank you. Fat Colonel, what is to stop BlackRock, whoever buy OTC and dumping on the open market? They technically could, but they're not going to waste their time. And there's probably regulations or SEC and laws that monitor that. They could, but yeah, you know, whenever they do trades and purchase and sells, they have to report those. Okay, there are regulations. They're not like just a normal buyer. So if they do that and they're caught manipulating the market, they will not only be fined, but they'll probably go to jail. So they're not going to be intentionally doing that. Yes, I did talk about Shiba Chainlink. Do you think we'll hit 74K to strong support level before we hit big all-time high? I I don't think we're going to 74K. I guess never say never. Okay. Um, but if we did somehow go to 74K, I would bet the farm on it. I would literally bet the farm on it. What are your thoughts on Kulo now? I'm just gonna say no comment on Kulo. A lot of things happened, and not good things. So I'm gonna say no comment on it. But yeah, going back to the 74K, I don't know. I just don't see it. This, I actually marked it. If we somehow fell back here and we have like a huge bounce, yeah, that would be like bet the farm moment if that actually happened. I just don't see that happening. What about manipulation by foreign entities? I mean, that's always a possibility, but you gotta think, right? You need such a large amount to be able to manipulate it. And when you have a country that's going to start buying it, there's a danger to it, right? Like if the U.S. is going to start buying up to 1 million in the next 5 years, right? You run the risk of, if you're trying to manipulate it, you run the risk of not being able to accumulate enough. So like for example, if the US starts buying and you're like China or Russia, you got to think, well, if the US is going to start doing this, maybe we should do it, right? Like why should we fall behind? Even if they wanted to manipulate Bitcoin, they're like, well, we don't want to risk of letting the US buy all the Bitcoin and we're going to end up buying, when Bitcoin's at millions. Why shouldn't we buy it now? Like we need to buy right now, right? And then it just becomes a FOMO thing. Like who's to say they haven't been buying right now already, as a preemptive thing. Maybe they have, maybe Russia started buying already ever since they've been sanctioned by the U.S. That's the thing. Once the U.S. makes this real, like legitimately, the U.S. says, yes, we're gonna start buying Bitcoin this year, and we could actually track the wallet address, the official address of the US, and we can see Bitcoin going in there. Once that starts happening, it's guaranteed other countries, world powers, will start following, whether we see their addresses or not. But I guarantee you, other countries, even like the UK, for example, will follow. And then you'll probably see like Germany and others in the EU saying, oh, we made a mistake selling our 30,000 Bitcoin. Let's start a reserve too. And then you'll hear like Russia, Russia already said, Putin already said, we should do a Bitcoin reserve. And China's probably going to say the same thing, but they're not going to announce it publicly. You're going to get countries FOMOing in on Bitcoin. They already do it with gold. Why wouldn't they do it with Bitcoin? But the thing is, when they do it with Bitcoin, it's going to drive the prices up really fast because you can't just spin up another mine and start digging out more gold. There's only so much Bitcoin to go around. You could start out. You can create more like Bitcoin farms. You can spin up all these Bitcoin miners and try to mine the hell out of Bitcoin. But the beauty of Bitcoin is if you do that, it just makes difficulty go up. And you're not gonna get more Bitcoin by doing that. It's still controlled by code. There's only so much Bitcoin that comes out per day. There's only so much there will ever be, and there's only so much that has been released, right? So if there's true FOMO among the countries now, the price will start going up very quickly. Very, very quickly. And that could happen next year. Of course, this is all speculation, right? This is all speculation. Maybe it doesn't happen that quickly, but if you're putting two and two together, I mean, it just makes a whole lot of sense. If the U.S. starts this, other countries will more than likely follow. It makes a whole lot of sense that they will follow if the U.S. starts. Wall Street locking in gains to buy back in January. That's not incorrect. Like I showed you guys, if we go back to the last halving year, in 2020, you look at what happened to 23rd, 24th, 25th, which is Christmas, 26, 27, 28. You go up a little bit, but most of the gains happened in the new year. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. So it's actually the new year. But if you look at from the 23rd on to the 7th, that was a 75% gain in the last halving year. Most of that came after the new year. But that was a crazy, crazy run. That was during lockdown. That was during COVID. We had a 75% gain during the final week of December and the first week of January. Hey, it could still happen. Oh boy, now I'm out of sync here. BTC dump, alt's stable now. Can you look at it? If alts are stable, it's a really good sign because sometimes alts do stable out first. Let's see, SUI, for example. Let's look at SUI. Did it stabilize? SUI has a green right there. SUI is... Well, the good thing is, last time Bitcoin dipped to 92, look at SUI dropped to like 350. It's not anywhere close to it. So it's 415. So that's a good sign. Let's look at XRP. XRP last time dipped to 195. It's at 215. So nowhere close to that. That is a good sign. So again, like alts are holding right now way better than that 92 crash that we had last time. ADA last time dropped to 76 and is at 87. Okay, that's good. Let's look at Chainlink. Chainlink went down to like 20. Now it's at 22. It does look like alts are holding way better now than previous. So right now, I think it's more like Solana's a green day right now. So it does look like Wall Street right now is selling off Bitcoin more than the alts right now. Alts are actually holding decent versus Bitcoin. I think like Wall Street, I don't know what they're doing with Bitcoin. But the good thing is when alts hold really well, that means Bitcoin's going to flip around. Mike, big super chat. Thanks, man. Appreciate your support. Chester. Would the Reserve have to go through Congress? I don't know. I think so. I think it would. It's like the first time this has ever been proposed. So I'm thinking it should. Unless I'm assuming so. If you look at the 15-minute for Bitcoin, RSI is, yeah, it's very oversold. 25. This is usually when it flips around. Let's see. The 1 hour. 1 hour, it could go down a little more. Or it's not that oversold on 1 hour. On the 15-minute, it is very oversold. Yeah. The alts are holding much better right now versus before. Like XRP looks like it has bottomed out. It's not dropping. It's not. I'm starting to like BNB is strong. I never pay attention to BNB. BNB is just like overlooked all the time, but let's see. BNB is just so, you're right. BNB is so solid. It doesn't even dump. It just keeps going. It's just solid. It's flat. Not only flat, it's actually just going up. It didn't dump at all. Well, it did a little bit, but it is incredibly, incredibly strong. Mole says, BTC is a scam because I can't send them to my bank. That's the reason in my family. Sure you can. You could cash out and send it to your bank for hard cash. Of course you can. Millions of people have cashed out Bitcoin. The fact that, okay, if you need more proof to your family, just say this. The fact that Wall Street now has Bitcoin ETFs means that it's not a scam. The SEC has approved it, and we now have Bitcoin ETFs. There's no way that it's a scam. So, if regulators around the world now recognize Bitcoin is a property, is a commodity, and they are not trying to shut it down, then it's not a scam. So just explain it that way. Travel, enjoy life. Check back in 10 years from now, 1 million. That's not bad advice. If you could do that. I shared this story recently. It's like that. Um, I got my mom into Bitcoin right around when I came back in 2017. I got in Bitcoin right around 2013. I left in 2014 because I didn't understand. I came back in 2017 when Bitcoin hit $1,000 again. I got my mom into it. She didn't really believe in it all that much, but I kind of convinced her to get into it with me. And then she told all her friends because she was excited about it. Didn't think anything of it. Recently, one of her friends, told her that she put in a couple $1,000s into Bitcoin, into Coinbase. Didn't know, just like totally forgot about it. Didn't know how to log in and stuff. But then she did hear about Bitcoin hitting 100,000 and she remembered, oh, I put in a couple thousand. She called Coinbase and did KYC and did all this stuff and recover her account and found out that she bought a single Bitcoin with $2,000. So she basically forgot about her account, forgot about her purchase for 7 years, and turned $2,000 into $100,000 just by forgetting about it for 7 years. So it's kind of the same thing. If you can just buy Bitcoin and just forget about it and just not worry about it, stop looking at the price and just forget about it for an extended period of time, you are guaranteed to make a boatload of money if you could just forget about it. That was back in 2017, early 2017. All right, man. I've been streaming for an hour now. I'm going to get off. I'm tired. I'm tired. All right, guys. Don't panic. Don't panic. It's actually pretty good. This live chat isn't as panicked as I thought it would be. I know we're starting out the week, not on the greatest note. But hey, if you love Bitcoin at 108,000, you should love it a lot more at 93,000. You're buying it at a discount, or you could buy it at a discount. And same with the alts. You could buy them at a 20 or 30% discount right now. Fundamentally, nothing has changed other than the price. So now you get to buy your favorite crypto at a discount. Now, as for the Santa rally, we still have this whole week. And we have a few days next week. And we still have the first week of January. So if you look at the Christmas rally, the Santa rally, it leads into January. So it's not over until it's over. So stay strong, my friends. I probably will be streaming tonight. So I'll see you guys tonight. 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. And we'll see where things are tonight. All right? Smash it a like, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys tonight. Have a good one. Take care.